So
a
when you
critical
so
boost.
when you got Star Wars Lego the complete saga, did you ever did you go to episode 4 first?
When I got it, I used the Give Me Conk droid.
Cause I didn't. Because I had the original trilogy on GameCube. Don't
You
know
have to
where it went. Probably traded in a long time ago. Oh my.
you start it in the proper way with the 77 movie first.
So episode 4.
And then you go and then you go to you ignore episode 4 after doing 4, so no free play. And then you skip over 5 and you go to 6 and then you do 5 for the happy ending.
Wait, what? What's the wait. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. What did the happy end? Wait. What's the happy ending? The ending of 5 is Luke losing his hand.
He couldn't masturbate no more to his pony porn.
Oh my god. How do you know who's. Wait. How do you know he had pony porn?
Because his favorite line in the movie was to go clap, clap, clap on you.
That was
He
not his
said
favorite
he,
line.
he he gets his hand cut off, and then he goes, "I hate you," and that's how Star Wars has made me feel with this last trilogy they've done. Like they
Great.
truly hate me.
Great. Just because Rey was a woman doesn't mean that it ruined Star Wars.
Means I think less of her.
Everything else about that movie ruined Star Wars.
Just means I think less of her.
Princess Leia taking money out of the ATM.
She's a woman. She'll somehow get away with it.
She's stealing from the Republic.
She's a criminal.
I forget how much money you can get out of this fucking machine.
Gotta pinch her clit.
Holy fuck. Can I just get infinite money out of this?
She'll go.
Man, Greg, this is a really bad slot machine if I'm winning every time.
So, someone was mentioning that there's a picture of Chris's bent duck on the wiki, on the quickie, and I was all like, considering looking at it, because people are like, oh, it's horrific, it's like, it's so bad looking, it's like, is it really though? So I went on the Discord server and I asked, and someone's like said it's horrifically bent. I was like, okay, because someone said it's on the quickie, and I'm not sure if I actually want to go and look at it. And they're like, oh yeah, everything, like every nude and stuff that Chris sent to the trolls are on the quickie, even the taint he gave himself.
Yep.
Where he cut himself open. I'm all like, oh damn. Am I in a watch people die mood or not?
I don't know, but that's the worst slot machine
R
ever.
slash gore.
Are you sure you don't just want to look at his bent duck?
Greg, we're gonna be here for a while, because if it allows me to, I'm getting True Jedi through this machine.
It's really just the morbid curiosity of it all.
He's all like, look at my penis, it's so cool.
But it's also like, when it comes to medical stuff too, I have a major morbid curiosity about that stuff. I've recently found some horrific shit. Just because I was like, I wonder what that looks like. Never knew bodies can have deformities that badly.
You know, bodies could be deformed.
Oh yeah. Like the babies with the giant eyes, the size of their heads. That was pretty fucked. I was like, is that even real? And it is.
Or the Goron baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is possible. I mean, come
When
on.
I saw
Where
that
do you
as a
think
kid, I
the
thought that was
inspiration
fake.
for the Eye of Sauron came from?
What? The
The-
Harlequin babies?
Yeah, the Goron babies. I thought that was fake.
Oh, the Harlequin? Yeah.
I always thought that that was really good prosthetic, and it didn't help that YouTube on the Wii was garbage quality.
Okay, Harlequin babies are not as bad as the Teratoma babies.
No.
The Teratoma babies are horrifying.
William Birkin babies.
Yeah.
Almost said William Afton.
William Afton babies.
Well, of course William Afton would do it. He's all like, "Woo, look at me! I'm taking out these bastards of the world."
So yeah, if the game allows me to, I better get an achievement for doing this.
But there is none. Only bunted bogos.
Steam has achievements, Greg.
But there's no achievement for doing that.
How do you fucking know? Have you sat here and done
You
this?
can pull up a list of achievements.
Greg, we're already halfway there almost.
Yeah, and we couldn't say that was racist no.
Like Duplo?
I mean, that is a really racist word to all the Lego peoples.
Princess, we should be going, like, we have these plans for the thingy, and we need to get it to the rebels. No, I'm on a winning streak. But that's an ATM machine, not a slot machine. What do you think they're gonna say about your back?
I don't know. I'm honestly pretty sure they're just gonna sit there and do the, yep, you pinched up your nerves and strained it really good. But I'm getting hounded from two ends about the possibility of slipped disc.
Unlike my mom, where apparently she's been dealing with appendicitis for an entire fucking year. And it's like, cool, even more reason to get you off of that property and get other things done.
People who,
But,
who are recovering from appendicitis don't need to look at a rainbow. We're gonna paint that black and red with some gold. Oh, we should start. If it wouldn't be so expensive. Just find some like cheap Space Marine
What?
minis, paint it up, and just hide them around there.
Probably, wait, Space Marines.
Warhammer.
Oh.
They're currently waging a war against the furries.
Oh my god. Greg, we are officially halfway there, almost. There has to be something you did for doing this. Why is there a slot machine right here?
Because Princess Lilo raped Stitch.
I don't actually remember that's ever being here. That's also a thing. It's like, what? You know, Darth Vader probably already stole the plans by now. The Emperor's probably already found the rebel base and nuked it by now. Vader's just coming down the hall to tell everyone that they lost.
He's already raped his own daughter.
But Greg, Greg, he can't. She's over here doing the slots.
He has her mommy dug up and fucks the corpse regularly.
Does Darth Vader still have a dick?
I mean, I'd assume so, because he had nubs that were burnt up pretty bad. I mean, the burns
That's
were pretty
true.
bad, but they never really went too far into the whole thing, like with the lore like that, like what Warhammer would.
Yeah, wait, no, that's Warhammer. That's not fucking StarCraft, where literally prisoners are strapped into those fucking suits.
I mean, they have full lore wrote out about the creation of all sorts of other stuff, down to how fucking, like, everything for the biology and stuff of, like, all the orcs and the other stuff, what it takes to become a space marine, down to, like, the single little peon of a human.
Fucking. Is there even a place in Warhammer that is, like, decent to live at?
Nope. Like, the only thing that would be technically decent to live at is if you're one of the people that, like, cleans and polishes the Space Marines' armor and that. But that's a double-edged sword, because some are treated like shit, some get treated nice. It really depends on the Space Marine you're stuck with. But the ones who are treated good would be like, it's still not anything nice like what you would consider nice, but like other humans, you go to the factory, you work 20 hours a day, 7 days a week with 4 hours of sleep. A
So,
lot of the farming planets aren't very nice, but they get a little bit more downtime due to, you know, like waiting for harvest time. But still, there's no place that's good because it's a 40,000-year war.
literally the only time that I played Warhammer was that, Warhammer, like, multiplayer, fucking, like, game where you had the classes and you fight first person through, like, a gauntlet.
Yeah, there's a lot of Warhammer games.
And it's like, so, from what I got from that game, it's like, is Warhammer space or fantasy? Because in that game, you were, like, using hammers. Well, obviously. You were using, like, medieval weapons and that shit, fighting rad people.
Well, that's the weird thing about it, is it's both sci-fi, fantasy, you know, like space fantasy, because yes, there are, just like in most mech games, like, oh, besides this mech having all these futuristic lasers, old school style artillery on it, it's got a fucking battle axe or a great sword, and that's gonna fuck you up. That's Warhammer. Warhammer, there is so many guns, but just as much as guns are being used, so are old school weaponry.
So, like, what the point of,
But a
like,
human cannot handle the recoil of a bolter.
what is the point of the war in Warhammer? Like, is there a point, or is it just a war that's been going on so long no one even knows what you're fighting for anymore?
What I've seen to be canon, it is literally just that. It started off as a war with one point, because it's like, oh, these two factions are at war with each other. But then they've been at war so long that a lot of them don't even know why they're at war. They just kill each other, even though they really don't have to at this point, because anybody who knew why is dead. But then there's other areas where it's like, oh, this is a new skirmish starting that's going to a full-blown war, but it's just been non-stop war.
So wait, it's basically a space fantasy version of that one fucking story of the two, like, redneck family that have been at war for, like, generation, don't know why.
Still are.
Find out. Wait, they still fucking are?
I'm pretty sure they probably have. I'm pretty damn sure nothing has ever been officially signed to end the feud.
I thought it was just a fucking story. It's a real group?
Yeah.
there was between those two families, the feud started and had been going on. And as far as I know, there has been nothing officially signed to end the feud.
I always thought it was just a fucking story, like two families fighting for so long that no one knows why. When it finally comes out why, it was a misunderstanding. I
Oh
always
yeah, it was a misunderstanding, but still, I don't recall a paper ever being there to end the feud. So as far as I know, they're literally still feuding.
So it what like you said something about like the soldiers being like different. Are they like fused with their armor? Can they take it off?
The Space Marines can take off their armor, yeah.
Okay, so it's not like StarCraft,
It's
where you are bolted into
consider it
that
like,
thing and you're only getting out of that when you're dead.
yeah. So consider it to be kind of like more so like Fallout's power armor, but can come apart in pieces like the Mjolnir armor will. You know how like Master Chief can take his gauntlets off of the, and like take separate pieces off.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes apart like that, but they have like the servitors in the process of that, uh, which those are a really fucked up thing of how they make them. Adeptus Mechanicus does not give a fuck. They've lost their purpose. But they'll present it in pieces and it comes together, and it does get kind of screwed together of it there, but they can fully take their suits of armor off. That's where their servants, who's normally like a disgraced soldier or somebody entirely different, will come in there and they'll clean it and take care of all their shit. Because a human cannot use the firearms that the Space Marines use, so the bolt pistols and bolt rifles. A human technically cannot fire those. There's made variants that they can, but
So, like, where do
yeah.
the fucking rad people from that one game that I played come in?
Dude, there's so many different fucking races across the galaxies, it's insane. You've got the war, like the Chaos Gods have their own thing, which are literal demons. They are like true hell spawn demons. You've got stuff like the Tau, the Mechanicus, you've got all the, and even within the humans, there's different ones that have been mutated and that haven't been, that are now their own thing. Like, there's so many different fucking factions of that there. It's bullshit. It is insane to try to keep up with half of that shit there. And there's definitely people out there that know all their lore. I know next to nothing of the whole when it comes to it.
Because I would took it as, like, they just wore fancy suits to be in space, and they were fighting with, like, different people.
Well, originally it was kind of like the whole, like,
Isn't
Earth's
there,
now
like, a
becoming
race?
this, and we're exploring other areas here. But even before we were the human race as a whole was a spacefaring thing. There was still a war going on with the Tau and some demons, and I mean, literally in Warhammer, there is an entire fucking faction of Space Marines who are nothing but like a floating shroud of dust that keep the power armor moving, because they went into a black hole to escape from being pursued by the whatever race was trying to kill them, and they got fucked up in there, and now they murder anybody that they see trying to kill their way through to find the cure for themselves. So like if you kill one of those Space Marines, they turn to dust. Like they've got some weird shit in there. That's what I mean. It's like there's so many different little pieces here, little pieces there. Like the whole, like the VR game of the Sisterhood. Well, that Sisterhood doesn't always play nice with other groups of other Space Marines that are even mainly female dominated, like that one. Like it's weird, because like the Mechanicus were made to preserve humanity and life effectively, to keep it going on, but they lost their purpose to where it's like, oh well, we can like serve all the consciousnesses in this hive mind, and no organic material effectively left, but now just robot. And then they have another area where they're all robotic, and they like fighting over and wearing strips of flesh in that because they made a deal. Well, they made a deal thing. Once they got a disease, it was like they invaded something, got a disease, and it was the only way to save themselves. But they want to become mortal again from being immortal robots. But they go on the battlefield, and as they kill their enemies, they rip pieces of flesh off of them and wear it. There's a lot of really warped lore in that game.
Yeah, kind of like there's a lot of fucking weird-ass lore in Bionicle.
Yeah, it gets really weird, really dark, really quick.
It's like, oh, you got the Elder Bionicles, you got the Matoran, not the Matoran, I forget the name of them. But, you have Glatoran, there we go. You have the Glatorans, which are like the Elders and that shit. And then you go into the third way, mind you, I'm never doing this again. I thought I'd get something for that. Holy fucking shit. Okay. That's an interesting way to get True Jedi. But then you go to the third wave, which is, the prequel, the past. And it's like, cool, okay. You got the new characters. By the end of their time as Toa, it's like, oh, they're giving up their power, and they're turning into